Captain Hurricane was a popular comic hero in the 60s and 70s. He was from the British Royal Marines Commando and he fought the Nazis and Japanese in World War II. He was depicted as being super strong when he got angry. Comics, however, failed to depict one of the most important groups that fought in the Burmese campaign against the Japanese, the colonial African troops. Japanese imperialism and expansion in Southeast Asia caused great worry for England and many other colonial powers. The Japanese invasion of Burma was especially worrisome to the British Empire because of its close proximity to its crown jewel, India. The British 14th Army, under the command of Lieutenant General William Slim, included African troops like the 11th East African Division, the 81st West African Division, and the 82nd West African Division. African troops entered the campaign in the middle of 1943. The British and Indian units till then had not been very successful. British commanders thought that African troops would do well in the monsoon climate of Burma. This proved to be correct because they did have lower rates of sickness compared to British and Indian troops. Racial discrimination was something that the African troops still faced in the army.
Muna tafiya cikin ruwa kamar nan da kilomita 5 ko 6 a ruwa kawai.
One of the most important roles the African troops played was in the capture of Moi Huang, the ancient capital of Arakan in Burma. The 81st and 82nd West African Divisions had converged and forced the Japanese to evacuate the Mayu Peninsula, which they had held for almost 4 years, and retreat south along the coast. British and Indian units were landing from the sea, and the Japanese would be caught between them and the pursuing West African divisions, and thus they suffered heavy casualties. The West African divisions would be the first army to be supplied entirely by air. The Burmese campaign was the longest land campaign of World War II, and pushing the Japanese out of Burma was pivotal to the Allied forces and changed the course of the war in Asia.